What do you think of when I say kindergarten? When I first began teaching in 1995, my classroom resembled the images you see on this screen, and play was a vital part of the curriculum. We know poverty affects children's readiness for school and success in school. For 50 years, we've had educational legislation and reform efforts targeted to reducing or eliminating that poverty-related achievement gap. Our instructional climate has shifted to be increasingly driven by standards-based instruction and measured by high-stakes assessments. We have created a false dichotomy where rigorous instruction is perceived as mutually exclusive to developmentally appropriate play-based learning. In our efforts to engage in rigorous learning and close this achievement gap, we have focused more and more on seat time to the further exclusion of engaging play-based learning, especially for our most at-risk learners. The laudable goal was to standardize instruction so that we could standardize outcomes for all children, but children aren't standardized. If this worked, it'd be great, but the gap persists, and educational inequities follow children not only through their K-12 experience, but into adulthood, and this affects communities at large. It's an enormous challenge. So what do we do? Recently, more and more, brain science is able to tell us how the effects of chronic stress and poverty is affecting developing brains in size, structure, and capabilities. And we know that young children are particularly vulnerable. The area of the brain especially affected is the prefrontal cortex shown in blue on the slide. This area of the brain is home to critical self-regulation and executive function skills like working memory, inhibitory control, and cognitive flexibility. Children who struggle with self-regulation and executive function struggle in school academically and behaviorally. The good news is brains are incredibly malleable and plastic. If we provide all children, but especially at-risk or vulnerable children, with opportunities to build self-regulation and executive function, we improve their chances for success in school. Researchers from multiple fields of study suggest that one of the most promising interventions to reducing the poverty-related achievement gap is by providing high-quality pedagogy that includes play. Play affords children opportunities to negotiate, problem solve, plan, be strategic, and so much more. The problem is our children who could most benefit from this type of engaging learning are currently the least likely to receive it. In our efforts to support at-risk learners, we tend to double down on this rigorous seat-based instruction to the further exclusion of engaging play-based learning. We know that play from research supports learning in many, many ways, including increasing attention, improving behavior, improving content knowledge, but it's basically eliminated from elementary schools. Educators and decision makers at all levels need sufficient evidence to justify shifting our instructional approach to be both strategic and standards-based and rigorous and developmentally appropriate and engaging. My current and future research intends to provide this evidence. I believe play builds brains, and I intend to prove it. Thank you.